Rounds of showers and storms have started to wrap up across the region, but we still feel the impacts from it, especially across eastern Kentucky, where they'll likely get in on more heavy rains as we get into tomorrow. I will track it all hour by hour.
Storm damage in Jessamine County causing a little bit of trouble for people out on the roads. We'll give you a look at that storm damage coming up.
We just want justice for this. That's what we want.
Deputies charged 2 more teens in their loved one's murder case. But a Mercer County family says they won't rest until those teens answer to the charges in court.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
A stormy start to May. Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. Showers and storms have been rumbling across the bluegrass. Most have moved out, but the threat for flooding continues. That is why this is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. And we begin tonight with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
And luckily, things are beginning to wind down, especially across parts of eastern Kentucky tonight, where they picked up a lot of heavy rain. We had severe storms sweep through here as well across central Kentucky. But you notice the last little bit of rain is almost out of here. But we still have an active flood warning out for folks across parts of Breathitt, Floyd, Johnson, Magoffin counties. Getting several reports early on that we were seeing roads covered in water and several inches and even up to a couple of feet deep at times. So some issues still ongoing through this area, and they will reassess the situation here in the next little bit. And you can see that's a little corner of a lot of storm reports coming in through that area. And then you can see another stripe that rolled along and north of Interstate 64. So those were the 2 areas impacted the most from today's thunderstorms. We still have flash flood watch out until midnight tonight for all the areas highlighted here in green. But the thing about it is the rain's wrapping up, and it will continue to do so as we progress into the overnight. You can see that with our high resolution model. It's out of here. We track maybe a stray shower or 2 to our north with that last little bit of energy, and then maybe a few more early tomorrow morning. But that's it until tomorrow afternoon. There will be more, and I will track those in the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Today's storms left behind a mess in parts of central Kentucky. In Jessamine County, high winds knocked over trees, debris covered roads, and hail hit some buildings. WKYT's Caitlin Sentner is taking a look at the damage in our top story at 11.
Oh, yeah, I figured I'd be home by now.
Gary Tucker's drive home slowed Sunday night by stopped traffic.
I live right around the corner here near Keene.
Tucker missed most of the action, but witnessed the aftermath when police blocked the road he needed to travel down.
We had a little storm in Louisville, but no big deal. And I heard about this one. He said it was a microburst of high winds and hail, and the power went out.
Both police and state workers stayed busy Sunday evening cleaning up messes in the middle of roadways caused by the storm. Most of them not highly impacted areas, but impactful enough to drivers.
Not as much highly traveled. They're mainly, they are state roads, but they're not highly traveled.
Jessamine County Sheriff's Deputy Ryan Rohrback had multiple stops Sunday evening, making sure all drivers got around the messes safely until they were cleared.
So far, it's been pretty quick. The state's been, very cooperative in coming out and getting this taken care of. We've got a couple now that are pretty large that they're trying to get bigger, larger equipment in now to take care of them.
He said there had been a couple of reports of roof damage in the county. In Jessamine County, Caitlin Sentner, WKYT.
Search and rescue crews in Owen County are looking for a man who was on Highway 368 near Teresita Road in Owington. Crews say a creek beside the road washed out around 5:30 this afternoon, and floodwater swept that man, who was inside his truck at the time, away. We do not know the man's name. State police are helping with that search. Hundreds are without power right now in Lexington. Kentucky utilities say a tree fell onto some power lines during this afternoon's storm. Crews shut off power to remove the tree, and they are still working on restoring power. They expect to have it all back on by 11:30. You can track the latest forecast, radar, and weather headlines on WKYT.com and on the WKYT News app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores. She is a family member who wants answers. Tonight, those who loved 17-year-old Tristan Cole are talking to us about their hurt and heartbreak. They lost Cole last month. Deputies say a classmate robbed, shot, and killed him.
We just want justice for Tristan is what we want. You know, we want the people guilty punished.
Mercer County Sheriff's deputies found 17-year-old Tristan Cole last month dead on Deep Creek Road. They arrested a juvenile and charged him with murder. Just this weekend, they arrested 2 others in connection to the case. Deputies say 18-year-old Zachary Lay and 18-year-old Megan Sims helped the juvenile charged with murder sell the gun used to kill Cole. They say Lay also helped hide it. Cole's family says the arrests right now offer little consolation.
There's just no peace. And there won't be peace until the ones that are guilty are caught, are punished for what they've done. You know, Tristan's no longer with us, but he will be in our hearts. I mean, they couldn't take that away from us.
Their memories of Cole are ones they say they'll keep close to their hearts forever.
He loved hunting, fishing, playing his video games, you know, being with his friends. He just liked helping his family when needed to be. And he, like I said, he was just a normal 17-year-old boy that didn't deserve for his life to be cut short.
Lay is still in jail. Sims bonded out of the Boyle County Detention Center last night. State police say a man accused of killing his girlfriend could face more charges. The Fayette County coroner says 35-year-old Alicia Ty died this morning in UK hospital. State police say her boyfriend shot her at a home on Skull Branch Road near Manchester. Troopers say Samuel, Cornett, and Ty were arguing, and when Ty ran off to a neighbor's house, Cornett followed her and shot her. Right now, Cornett is only charged with attempted murder, wanton endangerment, assault, and burglary. Funeral arrangements for Ty are pending. Police in Taylor County are trying to figure out what led up to a deadly shooting. Campbellsville police say 25-year-old William Calhoun shot 2 women at a home on Catawata Circle. 21-year-old Brianna Washington died. 25-year-old Shanitria Vaughn is at Taylor Regional Hospital with life-threatening injuries. Calhoun is charged with murder and assault. He could face more charges. Moorhead police are investigating a crash that killed a recent Moorhead State University graduate. The Rowan County coroner says 23-year-old Sarah Cottle was driving on Kentucky 32 when her car crashed head-on with another. Her friends say she graduated last spring and was back in town for the annual MSU Gala. Cottle sang at the past 3 galas. Friends told us she was excited to attend this year as an alum.
I opened the show last night and she came in right as soon as I started singing and sat front row. I remember I pointed right at her and I wanted to say, "What are you doing here?" Because she didn't tell anybody she was coming.
Investigators say the 2 people in the other car involved went to the hospital. We do not know how they're doing. We have new information tonight about a human skull found on a Bourbon County farm. The coroner says a farmhand found the skull in a creek on 3 Farm in Paris. Investigators are comparing the teeth found in the skull to dental records on a couple of people reported missing in central Kentucky. The coroner is now waiting on an anthropologist to return with results. Investigators believe the person died less than 5 years ago. Senator Bernie Sanders unveiled a new strategy to make up ground in the race for the White House. And Hillary Clinton and Republican frontrunner Donald Trump are turning their attention to the general election. Brooke Silva Braga has the latest campaign 2016 news.
Hillary Clinton leads Bernie Sanders by just 4 points ahead of Tuesday's Indiana primary, but she focused on Donald Trump on Sunday, linking violence at his events to the Republicans' rhetoric.
Hateful talk about immigrants, about Muslims, about women. I mean, enough. Enough. That's not who we are.
Trump returned fire. On Fox News Sunday, he said he'd use Sanders' words against Clinton in a general election. The Vermont senator once questioned if she was qualified to be president after taking Wall Street money.
Bernie Sanders, what he said was a lot worse than what I said, and I'm going to use that. We'll have that teed up.
At a press conference, Sanders asked superdelegates from states he's won to switch to his side and conceded he still needs to win big in the remaining primaries.
That is admittedly, and I do not deny it for a second, a tough road to climb, but it is not an impossible road to climb.
Republican underdog Ted Cruz also said not to count him out.
Nobody is going to get to 1237 before Cleveland. I'm not going to get there, but neither is Donald Trump.
Trump leads the latest Indiana poll by 15 points. Brooke Silva Braga for CBS News, New York.
Kentucky's May primary is about 2 weeks away, and the Democratic presidential candidates are campaigning around the region. Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton's husband, former President Bill Clinton, made stops in Logan and Charleston, West Virginia today. He talked about Hillary's plans to raise incomes and break down barriers.
There are a lot of young people that are up to their ears in debt. And then you have places like the southern part of this state, which are particularly distressed in pockets all over America.
Bill Clinton will be in Kentucky this week. He will make stops in Moorhead, Lexington, and Louisville Tuesday. And Hillary Clinton will make a stop in the Bluegrass State this week, too. Tonight, her campaign managers announced she will be in Ashland tomorrow afternoon. She will greet voters at Alma's Italian restaurant around 12:45. And Clinton's Democratic rival, Bernie Sanders, is scheduled to campaign in the Commonwealth this week as well. Senator Sanders will be at a rally at Louisville's Waterfront Park Tuesday night. The event is free and open to the public. The Kentucky Democratic presidential primary is May 17th. Still to come on WKYT News at 11. Maker's Mark is honoring the first Triple Crown winner since 1978. We'll take a look at the commemorative bottle. And some circus animals are taking their final bow. What's next for the Ringling Brothers elephants?
It has been a pretty action-packed day across central and now into eastern Kentucky, where some of the showers and thunder showers are finally starting to slow down and completely disappear out of the picture completely. Right now, we are looking at a Defender radar network, tracking that little bit of rain out to our east and some more showing up to our northwest. What this likely does is move directly over northern parts of Kentucky, at least some of it, and we might have a little rumble of thunder or two at a few of those during the overnight hours tonight. So still a possibility we track rain in our area, but it's a little bit smaller. You can see the last little bit of our earlier batch finally coming to an end in eastern Kentucky. Still tracking the flood warning, where we still have high water issues in Breathitt, Johnson, Floyd, and Magoffin counties. So we'll watch for that to continue through the overnight. I know they're having some issues there as well with even school tomorrow due to some of the high water, and hoping that it will start to recede. Heaviest rains have been in that area. This corridor has picked up probably 2 to 4 inches on average over the past 48 hours. Here in central Kentucky, maybe 1 to 3, some of us a little bit lower and higher in some isolated spots naturally. These are just radar estimates, though. Some of the ground truth coming in with the very similar totals. And you can see the overall picture in the atmosphere tonight with these showers and storms. You can see the flow of the southern tail of that particular little batch of showers and storms. So, again, likely clipping northern parts of Kentucky. Flash flood watch. It's not a big deal at this point because we are watching the rain die out, but we still have it in place until midnight tonight. Here's the hour-by-hour run. Pay very close attention to some of those showers in the morning, of course, but pay very close attention to eastern Kentucky because that's going to be a targeted area to get in on more. There you see some showers and storms coming together around 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We might have isolated chances here in central Kentucky. So we watch the rounds of rain roll over the same real estate that got in on some pretty heavy rain out there today. Then we get into Tuesday and we track more scattered chances, some cool air too, by the way, in the early morning hours. A lot of cloud cover and some showers around. This is our rainfall forecast, and if I had to pick an area to highlight for more flood concern, it would be right there because they could see anywhere from a ½ inch to almost 2 inches in some spots just with this particular run of the model. But you notice a sharp cutoff to the north where we don't see quite as much through Tuesday. So this is going to be a targeted area for more flood potential, I believe, tomorrow, because I'll tell you, those waters will recede tonight, but it's going to be tough. There you see the more chances of showers and thunderstorms in our 7-day. Some cooler temperatures also coming into play. We might even be cooler than that in some spots. We might actually get stuck in the 50s for highs. It'll be just one of those cool, damp, chilly days. Not what you want in May, but that's what we can
That
have.
cannot be normal for May.
It's not normal. We should be closer to that 70-degree mark. Yeah.
That's nowhere near 70 degrees.
It's not fair either.
Coming up next on WKYT News at 11, flames destroy an Estill County home. We'll show you what's left of the log cabin. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $128 million. And Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $348 million. Firefighters in Estill County are still trying to figure out what caused a fire that destroyed a home. Firefighters say it took them nearly 20 minutes this morning to get to the fire on Lynch Road. They say the home is located in a very remote spot.
By the time we got here, the structure was pretty much gone. So our major concern at that time was trying to cool it down as fast as we could to try to save any property that we could, but to try to keep it from going up into the woods.
The homeowner said she was at church with her family when the fire started. New tonight, the Johnson County Sheriff's Office is investigating a suspicious fire in the Whitensville community. Deputies say a barn caught fire early this morning and the flames spread to a nearby house. The fire also damaged a house across the street. We're told there were people inside the home when the fire started. Everyone got out safely. Deputies believe the cause of the fire is arson. It is the end of an era. The elephants in the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus are saying goodbye. The last 11 female elephants touring with the circus took their final bow today in Rhode Island. They end a 145-year tradition. The show and the elephants stopped in the bluegrass back in August. The elephants' new home will be Ringling Center for Elephant Conservation in Florida. People lined up outside liquor stores this morning hoping to get their hands on this year's Maker's Mark commemorative bottle. The bottles feature the blue and yellow of the Zayat stables and a portrait of last year's Triple Crown winner American Pharoah. Fans in Lexington started lining up outside the liquor barn in Hamburg around 4:30 this morning.
Well, I've been collecting them for over 30 years, and I've got 128 Maker's Mark bottles. Every man's got to have a man cave, so mine's full of animals that I shoot and stuff in Maker's Mark bottles.
American Pharoah's owners, trainer Bob Baffert, and Maker's Mark president Rob Samuels will sign bottles Wednesday in Louisville. Lee K's in next, and it is finally Kentucky Derby week.
It is Derby week, and that also means the horses are at Churchill Downs, including the one that will be the favorite when they go to the post next weekend, and he was on the track this morning. Plus, one Wildcat was selected in the NFL draft, but several others will have a chance to make an NFL roster. I'll let you know who next in sports. Kentucky Derby week has arrived, and you can get used to hearing the name Nyquist. The Kentucky-bred 3-year-old colt is the favorite heading into Derby 142, and the Florida Derby winner spent a few weeks in Keeneland before making the trip over to Churchill Downs Saturday, and this morning he got his first looks at Churchill Downs track. But following a year where we had a Triple Crown winner, could an undefeated Nyquist actually be underappreciated?
I mean, I think he's a very good horse, and you know, I was very impressed by his Florida Derby. I think Mohayman's a very good horse, and you know, he was able to beat him on his home track. So yeah, I think he's getting slighted, but I don't have a good explanation for why.
He looks like he's going to be a likely favorite. I could see why people are going to want to try to beat him, and that's what makes this sport great and all other sports great. So I respect people who want to knock him for different things, but it's hard to knock the 7 for 7.
Now, it'll be tough for any horse in this year's Derby field to live up to what American Pharoah accomplished last year, winning the Triple Crown. No one more familiar with Pharoah than his former trainer and 4-time Derby winner Bob Baffert, who was at the Churchill Downs track this morning. He's got one horse in the Derby this year, More Spirit, who galloped on the track this morning. He admits that there is a lot less pressure for him this year without American Pharoah.
I think that, I mean, last year it was pretty, you know, it was a little stressful. You know, you have 2 horses and worrying about this and that. But, I mean, I'd rather there's nothing wrong with having that stress, you know.
The news on Marquise Bolden is that there is no new news. The top-rated uncommitted player in the 2016 college basketball recruiting class is yet to make his decision. The 6'10" post player out of DeSoto, Texas, remains torn between Kentucky and Duke. Now, following an all-star game last night, Bolden said that he's definitely close to a decision, and he'll make a decision real soon. Now, keep in mind, there is no deadline for him to make a college choice. On Saturday, Josh Forrest became the 4th Kentucky linebacker drafted in the past 5 years when the Rams selected him in the 6th round, 190th overall. Forrest told reporters that he had goosebumps once he learned that he would be selected by the Rams. The Paducah Tillman product was the first defensive player selected by the Rams after they used their first 4 picks on offensive players. General Manager Les Snead described Forrest as a raw talent with tenacity. Now, Forrest was the only UK player drafted, but several others have agreed to undrafted free agent contracts. We told you about a few of them yesterday. The newest are the guys highlighted in yellow there. Safety A.J. Stamps is headed to Browns camp, and a pair of linebackers will get a chance. Khalid Henderson with the Bears, Ryan Flanagan with the Falcons. In all, that's 8 rookie free agents from UK. Then at the bottom, a pair of EKU players agreeing to free agent contracts. Running back Deshaun Mobley with the Bengals and tight end Ben Maiden with the Raiders. EKU's Noah Spence was the 2nd-round draft pick of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's been a rough weekend for the Kentucky baseball team on the road at Auburn this afternoon, needing a win to avoid the sweep. Gary Henderson looking to get his Cats out of town on a high note. Top of the 2nd, Javon Shelby is swinging for that mini monster out in left. The ball sails over the foul pole, originally ruled foul, but the umps would review it, and they called it a home run. Tied at 1-1 in the 5th now with the bases loaded. Evan White singles through the left side. That'll score 2 runs to break the tie. It's 3-1 good guys. The 7th inning was the big one. How about now 6-1, and Shelby delivers his 2nd home run of the afternoon. Big weekend for him. This one, well, it did not require replay. Another big day for Shelby. Kentucky holds off a late Auburn rally to win the game, 9-6. The Reds got a win on the road, and I've got video to prove it. Bottom of the 9th, John Jaso. That's a solo home run to right field off Ross Ohlendorf. This game's going to extras, tied at 5. Cincinnati takes the lead in the 11th inning. Tucker Barnhart, an RBI double to right. That scores Eugenio Suarez. It's 6-5 Redlegs, and the Reds would hold on this time. Jaso grounds out to 2nd, and that right there will end the game. The losing skid is over. 6-5 Cincinnati in 11 innings. And in the NBA, the Toronto Raptors eliminate the Indiana Pacers from the playoffs. Former Wildcat Patrick Patterson had 11 points in the win.
I know you were going for the Pacers.
I'm a Pacers fan, yeah, so it's tough to see that, because at least Patrick Patterson can move on to the playoffs. I'll at least cheer for him.
We'll be right back with a final look at weather. Looks like the rain's moved out for now.
For tonight, and that is wonderful news, especially for folks across parts of eastern Kentucky. You see our Defender Radar Network. Still an active warning across Breathitt and into Magoffin counties. That goes until midnight tonight. But now that the rain has kind of exited the area, that's welcome news, because it's not going to cause any more rising water through the overnight. But they'll certainly have to just keep an eye on creeks and streams, especially tomorrow. As we get into the afternoon, we'll start tracking more storms into the area, guys.
And of course, our morning crew starting at 4:30 a.m. will be tracking all of that as well. Have a good night.